A villain is not born, but made. A person is turned into a villain. A hero can be turned into a villain. An innocent person can be turned into a villain. Why? It's because when survivability comes first, your morality comes later. And that's also the reason why a lot of people out there, they don't follow ethics, they don't have morals, they don't have values because of that. They gotta survive. So the main priority there is to survive. And some cases, their main priority is to get revenge, to get a payback. And so, what's the difference really between heroes and villains? Like, aren't these two characters both human? Well, yeah, they're both human. They're both characters. But what really set aside the difference between a hero and a villain is that a hero does things for the many, and a villain does things for the few. A hero might destroy you to protect the whole world, but a villain will definitely destroy the whole world to protect you. And so you have that sort of a lion and a wolf type situation, where on the other hand you have morality and loyalty and bravery, and on the other hand you have sketchiness, you have cunning, you have intelligence. So these two characters, they're really the same if you think about it. But a hero is that he doesn't care about himself. He wakes up in the morning, he goes out, he puts on a suit, and he does things so that other people can be something themselves. Whereas a villain wakes up and say, I gotta do this for me. And society has been going on and uses these terms because it really circles around selfishness, right? So you can literally see that a villain can be much more selfish than a hero. But really, a hero is just a guy that goes around thinking, oh, you know what, if I've done this for other people, then I'll be happy too. Whereas villains say, you know what, I'm gonna do this for me so that I can be happy, regardless of what you care, what you say, what you feel. That is the difference right there. And the reason behind all this is that a hero does what he does, do what he do, because he don't want others to feel the pain that he felt. Right? It's sort of like, right, let's say, if I've experienced an accident, I don't want others to experience the accident themselves. I try to tell them to stop. Tell them, you know what, wear a helmet, take safety cautions, or do other type of procedures. Whereas a villain would be like, you know what, I don't care about you. I don't give a fuck about what you think, what you say, what you do. It's all up to you. And I'm gonna do all this because I want to do it for me. And sometimes selfishness can take over control of the character themselves and start to twist their motives, start killing everybody, or start destroying the things, or make other people suffer like him. And yeah, that's it. A hero meets trauma and say, I'm gonna overcome this trauma, and other people won't have to overcome it themselves. Right? I'm gonna save them. Whereas a villain say, if I overcome that, you gotta have to overcome that with me. So if I'm dying, you dying, everybody's dying. That is the difference right there. But you look it back, you don't see a hero being a hero because you don't see them having a sort of gruesome type of background. Whereas a villain, you can either say that you see that the villain, like the background behind the villain is that either childhood traumas or a bad past or a lack of opportunity. You see, every time a villain is always much less stronger than the hero themselves because of that. It's because of that. You don't see Batman going around with all those tools because he's poor. No, he doesn't do that shit. And that's the thing. A villain, like I said, isn't made, isn't born, but it's created. A villain is created because of his surrounding and the people around him. A kid will not turn evil or will not turn into a bad person just because of what he does from his own inside. Like you naturally don't do this unless somebody else come out and tell you to do it. Let you think about it. That's how a villain is made. That's how a villain is created. Because of the surrounding themselves. It's like nature versus nurture, Whereas in this case, you're getting hit by more nature than nurture. Sometimes a villain want to do something that a hero does, but he can't because of his code. The morality just doesn't add up there. And sometimes we have to look into people. Like if I'm gonna do a sort of mirror reflection here to life, sometimes you gotta look into people and just study them, like research about them, like have a background check, just know who they are. Because sometimes people do things not because they want to do it, because they have no choice. It's either from what they experienced before or their experiences themselves tell them that, you can't do that because it might damage this or it might damage that, or I might lose this, I might lose that. So it's all about the benefit and shit like that. So you don't have to look into people like you don't have to read them, but just get to know them, right? Know what they actually want, know what they need. Because sometimes people ain't that bad. Not everybody is that bad. And not everybody has to be bad. And the same thing goes back where you don't have to be all good, be all perfect. It's not required. And if you become all perfect, become all good, then it's okay. It's really up to you. It's a choice. But just be good. I said it before, I say it again. Just be good. Good enough for you, good enough for other people, good enough for society, good enough for your family, good enough for your loved ones, good enough for everybody. Because that's all there is. There's no perfect, there's no utopia, there's nothing. So just do good and don't jump into conclusions. Because sometimes a villain isn't exactly a villain, but it's just a tragic hero.